and you're going to both plead guilty for taking a car that didn't belong to you, right? Which you did.
Yes, Your Honor.
And each one of you is going to pay restitution for the truck. In what amount? How much was your restitution?
The restitution was ordered at $4,330.86.
Okay, that's what they determined either the damage was to your truck or the replacement for your truck. Is that correct?
That's what they determined, but that wasn't what the estimates were.
I don't care what the estimates were. That's a court has already made that determination.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're both under 18, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that the court, for some reason, said we're dividing the responsibility in this case 50-50, which would be okay, except that you don't have any money, so that your mother would be paying herself.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right?
Yes.
Well, let's say it's $4,500, so it should be worth $4,320. Let me figure exactly how much that is, so we don't guesstimate. 4,330 divided by 2 equals $2,165. So each one of you is supposed to pay $2,165, but your $2,165 was going to go to you.
Correct.
To pay for your truck.
Correct.
So you said, I'm not paying restitution. I'm going to pay restitution for myself. I'm not doing that. But this is the rub. Court also said once the restitution is paid, we're going to seal these cases like they didn't exist and expunge the records so that they both have a clean slate. And your son, unless he had a clean slate, couldn't play basketball. But unless the restitution was fully paid, they weren't going to close out the case. So what happens is that the plaintiff paid your half of the restitution so that she could get her son's record cleaned, and she wants you to pay her your half of the restitution.
That's what I understand. However, according to
Isn't that what you want?
That is correct. And I went to Carrie in the nicest way possible. I said, meet me for 15 minutes. This is at the point that I had paid 50%, just asking her to write a letter stating that she accepts that 50% because, like you said, she's not going to pay herself. Mm-hmm. I understand that. And a simple letter, I said, would prevent us from having to go back to small claims court, getting extra fees, and, let's get this behind us. And I thought she agreed, but then she backed out and said, no, I'm not paying. Tejan's responsible.
Why wouldn't you write the letter that
That's not exactly how it happened. She wanted me to write a letter that said that she satisfied her part of it so that I would still have to pay the rest of the money.
Well, you don't have to pay the rest of the money. You take out a check from the bank and you write a check to the court. The court sends you back that check or sends you back a different check and you get the check. You're whole.
But the problem is the court hasn't even sent me the money that she paid.
Oh, well, that's a problem.
And I have...
Why not?
As a courtesy, when I paid the 50%, I asked Carrie, did you get any of the money that I paid? Because I have the proof that I paid from the courts in my banking account. She said she had not received it. Now, this is not my job, but I called the court, the collections, and I said, can you please release that money to Carrie? And they said, we will absolutely release